Well, good Wednesday hump day afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. We have the Dan Selio show. If anybody's there, say hello, because I'm not sure if I got the stream right or not, because I had some problems when my wife pulled the internet out on Monday night. So getting ready for Dan Selio's show, and we've got a few more minutes here, so I'm going to go ahead and enter the studio. I don't know why. This is the dead time. I guess the Eagles fans got nothing to talk about, and Dan's like, I need something, anything to get going. So, of course, when you're in need of some publicity, all you got to do, Blue Virus, what's up, Blue? You go to the Cowboys. Hey, let's pound on the Cowboys. So let me go ahead and enter the studio.
Nick Saban, dude.
Okay.
Look at Kyle. Here's Kyle checking in. If the passing game is 30th again, A.J. Owens is going to explode like the BP oil.
Oh, man. What's up with that?
Kyle is so silly.
I don't even know what the subject is today.
Kyle,
I'm just here for comic relief.
You can't even use that big noggin of yours, dude. Come on, man.
Absolutely.
Ben Dover says, they are rookies, man. They will have to learn a bit. Ringo also, just because they are starting for the first time doesn't mean bad. Be optimistic. Silio, optimistic? Come on, Dover.
Whoa. It's not that I'm not optimistic. It's
He's not optimistic. Okay.
5 guys.
Loyal Cowboy. What's
Mark
up?
Holmes, Dallas Cowboys on September 4th, starting on defense
58
that
days.
are brand new starters. It ain't just one dude betting my backside friends over. It's not that. It's 5 dudes from the Super Bowl. 5 new starters. Mauro, Inamian, Iwojima, Ojomo. And we have Jake Trotter Jr., starter, first time. Then we got, what's his name? Fidel Makuba.
All right, ready? He says, who is a better team than the Eagles, Sills? Come on.
Okay.
Who? Who's got a better team?
Okay.
Hang on.
So they got no excuses. They've got no excuses, then they should blow through and be 17-0, right? 17-0 and Super Bowl champions.
There isn't one.
All right. I'm going to pound them over the head with that shit.
Well, no.
Mark Holmes might admit that.
I'm going to pound them over the head with that shit.
Queasy quasi.
Okay. I'm going to pound them over the head.
Keese with the banger. Thank you, Keese. Steve Ike says, do you sing solo? What does this mean? Do you sing solo? So low we can't hear you.
Hey, Steve, I mean, if you're trying to be funny, bro.
Oh, boy.
Okay, you're as funny as John McMullen telling a joke.
Okay. Lady Libra in the house. What's up, lady?
Look at got him, Zig. Got him, Zig.
Hey, Queasy quasi walkie. Yeah.
Oh,
Bring
boy.
you, man.
Okay.
Blue Virus is in here. What up, Blue? You know your team ain't better than the Eagles. Come on.
Holly Pierce. What's up,
New
Holly?
England? New England.
Something, right?
Okay.
No, he's a Diddy fan.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys that
Hey, Robert Kraft's been hanging out with Diddy, so there might be some questions there.
I heard Mark Holmes, man, after Diddy got acquitted.
Here we go.
His front yard with baby oil, throwing it all over himself.
Yo, Mark, check this out.
Baby oil.
Here we go.
Mark, check this out. I just got this text.
Oh, really?
H. Robinson.
One's talking shit on him already.
5 minutes ago. Look at this crybaby bitch.
Hey, why you got a cracked phone screen there, bro?
What's that?
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Cowboys are talking shit on the Eagles.
Yeah, good. That's all they got. They certainly can't beat us in the football field, so they're going to do that.
Ooh, they're spicy today.
Thank you,
That's 9-4.
What's that?
That's 9-4.
Oh, congrats.
Oh boy.
What exactly?
You're right,
is
Holly.
this?
Here comes the shit talking.
1, 2, 3,
It's oil.
4.
It's an oil. It's a
Baby,
little lotion
baby
bottle.
oil for Diddy.
It's a lotion bottle.
This is what I heard Mark
boy.
Holmes
Mm-hmm.
was putting on when Diddy got acquitted.
Oh, come on, man. Mark might have a shitty football team, but I'm not saying that. All right, I'm out of here, Sills.
Wait a minute. We have levels of goofing right now. So, like, wait, your Cowboys suck, but let's go Diddy, man.
I'm not putting you in the Diddy
basic,
category.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Being a
Big Z,
Cowboy
don't
fan does
forget-
not put you in the Diddy category.
Oh lordy.
Don't forget to catch my boy Big Z. That was a great conversation with you and Mike Gill, man. That was good stuff today, man. Really.
Why am I not surprised you loved it? He was basically shitting on Hurts. Mad Dio gift spot. Look at the Jacob shirt in the picture. Let's go, Dio.
Look at
5
this.
memberships gifted. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Dio.
And
All right,
before you
Sills,
go, what do you think it'll do?
Oh, the dude looks great. I mean, I even got a comment. Somebody texted me, look at Sills, new dude looks good. I'm like, yeah, it does look good. If only he could get his mic to work like a, he's a fossil, this guy. He's going to be in the museum soon. This guy's a fossil. He's
Bro,
been on
this guy
computers
made me
for 20
download
years
it.
now.
I'm
All
literally
these
ready to
old
pull
people.
my hair out.
No excuse. Mark Holmes, I think, is around the same age as you. This guy's got a full channel. He's got setups. He's got mics. He's got computers. He's got everything. Cilio can't even click his mic on. It's a joke.
Hold on.
Take some pride in what you do.
This guy made me download something called fucking Firefox fucking something. I don't even know what it is. So I had to download Firefox. He couldn't fucking figure this out. Then he had to walk me back to get him back to. I'm like, this guy blew my brains out this morning with going back. You got to go back to StreamYard. You got to go to Firefox. I'm going like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're an idiot.
This is all over a mic.
I get genuinely pissed off. Anytime we have to have a call scheduled.
Oh, it's awful.
Where we need to work on
It's
something
awful.
technical. I know that I'm going to have to blow up on Big Sills. That's how it has to go.
Because he does this. Look, he'll go like this. He'll go, calm the fuck down. And I'll go ahead. Fuck it. I don't know.
He's just like Philly.500 because Philly doesn't know shit either.
Right, man. Love you, Big Z. Thanks, bro.
Oh, Lordy.
Too, man.
Here we go.
Make sure you guys hang with those guys in the morning. They do a good job. Yeah, shit, I don't know. So wait a minute. Philly.500 set the table. He called Mark Holmes a bitch. Right out of the gate.
What? He called me a bitch.
Fireworks are gonna hit here.
Called me a
Mark
bitch? What
Holmes
the
is a
hell?
bitch.
What the hell?
That right out of the gate. I want to know what the
what did I do?
September 4th yet. And we
got 58 days.
Comments being thrown back and forth.
Bitch.
We've got Mark Holmes talking shit on Jalen Hurts.
Bitch.
I mean, I don't know what's going on here. So without further ado, by the way, whether it's Derek Brooks, Mr. DeBartolo, I don't give a shit who I get on. The guys who get the greatest response are Philly.500 and Mark Holmes, even over Ice Cube and people we've had on. It's incredible. Without further ado, we bring in the legendary Dallas Cowboy super, and when I say super content creator, Mark Holmes, and without any kind of introduction needed.
You see this right here? Read between the lines, man. Read between the lines. Okay.
Without further ado, all we call him by is Champ 500. Here he is.
Tell a guy to wash his fingers. You see that?
I was out in the yard, making a flower garden and shit. Okay, doing something productive here for the last 58 days till we get to bitch slap you guys.
You're a little bitch.
Hold on.
You posted.
Little is not part. Okay, I resent that you said I'm little. Okay.
Well, you are on a diet, right?
I am on a diet. I've got a long way to go from little.
Hey, I'm giving you something.
You giving me something?
Yeah.
I might need some penicillin.
Philly, why is he a bitch? Philly, why is he a bitch?
Video he posted today. I can't. You just can't make this up. It was 29 minutes ago. Micah Parsons gets trashed.
It does.
Jalen Hurts gets a pat on the back. Of course, Jalen Hurts gets.
Well, no. See, did you actually watch the video, chump?
He's always crying. I watched like 30 seconds. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to shut off. I know where you're gonna go. Oh, the Cowboys.
You know what?
Getting trashed, and we're always.
I got a real question.
And Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts MVP. Let's face it.
No, he didn't. Yeah, okay, he didn't win league MVP. But hold on. I want to know one thing though. As I'm sitting here looking at the two of you guys, there is a resemblance. Are you two related? Is he your long lost son?
Because
listening to Xander,
being Italian, so maybe
our
ancestors, brothers.
I'm just
our ancestors come from the same sunny peninsula.
Well, listening to Xander, who's clearly the brains of the operation here, and how computer challenged you are.
That's a shot at you.
No, Philly, come on.
I know.
Don't act like you ain't called me up and say, "Hey, how do you do?" Blah blah blah. When you got the Mevo cameras, huh?
I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
That's Dan.
I admit it.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
So where are you going here, there, cowboy guy?
I'm just asking. Do you know his mama?
Oh, I may. He may know my mama.
Ooh.
I mean, listen.
Okay.
Now we're attacking mamas here. Is that
no, I'm just saying that. Dan is your mom.
We can go there.
Hey, guess what? We're Italian. I don't know. We could be related.
She might have been at a Diddy party with Dan. For all we know.
Okay,
I'm going to smack this guy's face.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Trump, you got a problem with that?
What?
Where are we going here?
Pass the cannoli.
Okay.
What I'm saying.
There you go. No, grab the cannolis. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Leave the gun. Grab the cannolis.
See, Mark's trying to go low. He's trying to go after the mamas.
Look, come on, let's be real here. This is the lull before the storm. There is not shit going on.
I'm not going after nobody's mom.
Hey,
I don't
Philly,
do that.
You know what he's doing, right?
Yeah, I know what he's doing.
He's like making sure you go off the base because there's nothing really to talk about with the fucking Cowboys right now.
No, we could talk about
with the Eagles right now until they get to training camp, unless somebody does some stupid shit like Kayvon Turpin.
We could talk about the Eagles. I mean, they're getting ready for their rings, July 18th.
I do have one thing to ask you. So there was a debate on social media, and I want to ask you first, Mark. If you had to pick a quarterback between Eli Manning and Jalen Hurts, who would you pick?
I'd pick Jalen Hurts.
Over Eli?
Yeah. Eli had two great playoff runs, but other than that, he was pretty much average. And
he's 8-4 in the playoffs. He's got 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, he does, but he also had an incredible defense, too, that helped, okay? Now, like I said, he played great in those 2 playoff runs.
He threw for 60,000 yards.
Yeah, but if you play long enough, you're going to get those yards. But if you look at totality of his career.
The reason I bring this up, though, is because you just said it. He's a product of the environment around him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, aren't they the same?
It is, but I would, for me, I would take having the dual threat. Eli Manning ain't running past anybody. That's one of the things that actually, as much as I trash Jalen Hurts, and the reason the video that I put in was the person actually said, congratulations to Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, and like 5 quarterbacks they said that could have won the Super Bowl if they were on the team that Jalen Hurts was last year.
Well, see, the problem.
But he is a cog in the system, but he is not the whole system.
Here, let me ask Philly this question: you think because Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, he's better than Josh Allen, and he's better than Joe Burrow?
Because he won the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
not necessarily because he won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think there are a few guys that I'm willing to take in a debate with Jalen Hurts. Dak Prescott is not one of them. I often think,
of course not. He hate the Cowboys.
Well, he stinks. I mean, he doesn't win anything in any situation. Do I think? Here's how I look at it.
Do you think Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl if he's on the Cowboys? Real question.
A couple years ago, yes.
What
when
year?
You had that team and you were the number 1 seed and you choked. When you were the number 2 seed and you choked. Yeah, I think he wins. Because I think Jalen Hurts wins more games than Dak Prescott. But I think Josh Allen, I think Joe Burrow, I think they probably could win on the Eagles roster if they were the starting quarterback. But the thing with Jalen Hurts is he's been to the Super Bowl twice. So he went with a different coaching staff, right? Different offensive coordinators.
I'll give you that.
He went with different players. I mean, they didn't have Saquon Barkley. They had Miles Sanders, and he came one drive to being a two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time Super Bowl MVP. So to me, he's already gone there twice. How many quarterbacks in this league besides Mahomes have been to 2 Super Bowls?
Now, let me put this out here, though. Your 2 Super Bowl teams both had top 5 scoring defenses.
See, I don't think because you went to 2 Super Bowls means you're a better football player than somebody else when you just add a guy and look at a guy and go, is that guy better than that dude? That's like saying Trent Dilfer's better than Dan Marino because but Super Bowl. That's not the case.
No, it's not the case. But you can't discount that a lot of these quarterbacks in the league still have teams that are good enough to win, and they don't win in the playoffs when the time comes. And this goes back to history. You bring Eli Manning into it. Okay, let's talk about Eli. Eli Manning, you know why Eli Manning deserves the credit he gets? He won 2 Super Bowls where he had to go on the road and win in the playoffs. One of those places, I believe, was in Dallas. He had to go to Green Bay. So, you can't dismiss when guys go out there and win. So I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all, but in today's ratings, the way we look at quarterbacks, it's discounted to the nth degree.
How about this?
Let me just ask this as a real question. Does John Elway win 2 Super Bowls without Terrell Davis?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so. No.
He was the caboose.
There you go.
He was the caboose on those teams.
Yeah.
And when he had to carry the teams, he was 0-3.
But he went to Super Bowls. He was there in the game playing.
He did, but he didn't win until he had that 2008-yard season.
You could say that for every quarterback, right? I mean, Joe Montana. Does Joe Montana win if he doesn't have Jerry Rice and Roger Craig? I don't know.
I agree. So in other words, you're saying that people around a quarterback make a difference?
He did.
It does, but
he won the first Super Bowl without.
Of course, it matters what you have around you. However, that's not an excuse for a guy like Dak Prescott, who's had teams that were good enough to win. That's not.
I will argue that the Dallas Cowboys actually overperformed for what they did throughout the 5 years that Mike McCarthy was the coach. The 2 biggest moves they did was getting Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. Everything else was addition by subtraction. Zeke Elliott went downhill. You got rid of Amari Cooper and figured Noah Brown or Jalen Tolbert's going to be just as good. You can't honestly look at a Tyron Smith who averaged 8 games a season for the last 5 years. That's the same team
wait a second.
in comparison to what the Eagles have.
Let's keep it simple. When you're the number 2 seed, when you're the number 2 seed and you're playing at home a playoff game, are you supposed to win that game?
Yes, you are.
Are you? Well, then what happened?
What happened? That team was top heavy and was beat down by the time the playoffs got there.
They lost as a 1 seed. They lost as a 2 seed. They might even lost as a 3 seed. They stink.
Mark, let me ask you this about Dak here, okay? So do you think that the Cowboys have let Dak down by not putting quality coaches around him? And that's been one of the major issues, not just the talent stuff that we talk about. The Cowboys have not done a bad job when it comes to drafting and getting guys.
Oh, without a doubt.
They've not done a bad job. Have they done a bad job at putting a good enough coaches? Because look at what Philly did. Philly fucked up in 2023 by bad coaching. What did they do? They adjusted immediately. They dumped those guys. They brought in Vic Fangio. They brought in a coach that was going to be compatible with the style of play they were looking at, and it worked, and they win the Super Bowl, and they move forward. And they continue to add great talent on top of that. I do think the Cowboys they failed miserably by not adding quality players around. But don't you think it's been coming? Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, that really is going to win with those guys?
Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Me.
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Go ahead,
We
son.
heard that the reason why Dak couldn't win the playoffs was Kellen Moore, and that he was going to come to the Eagles and destroy the Eagles. What did Kellen Moore do with the Eagles? Won a Super Bowl.
Wait a second.
So,
he didn't have the same.
me.
Okay.
Wait a second. Wait a minute. Hey, I'm going to disagree with Philly.500 on this. Name me one thing that Kellen Moore brought to the Eagle offense last year that changed the look of the Eagle offense. He didn't do shit.
I don't know. I thought the Super Bowl was pretty good.
Hold on. I'll tell you this. The reason you guys got to that Super Bowl was because of the addition of Saquon Barkley.
Right. Well, then why couldn't Dallas win one playoff game with Kellen Moore? Why couldn't they get to an NFC Championship game?
We did win one with them.
We were told that Kellen Moore was. If we sat here a year ago and he was saying Kellen Moore was the reason Dak choked, and you wait and see what he does with Jalen Hurts. We can't ignore that. That's what was said on here. We've debated it. Well, Kellen Moore won a Super Bowl.
Okay. Let me go back to a question that happened before I got on here. When Sills, you were asked, what team is better than the Eagles? What team is better than the Eagles?
I can't think of one.
Talent-wise. I mean, it hurts me to say that. But
roster-wise. I think Baltimore's in the conversation.
Playoff Lamar.
Okay. Again.
Chokes.
I think Baltimore's in the Are you suggesting you think Jalen's a better player than Lamar?
If I have to win a game in the fourth quarter of a playoffs, I'd rather have Jalen Hurts over Lamar Jackson.
That's a very.
I asked you if you thought he was a better player.
Overall, I mean, in the regular season, no. Lamar's going to put up the statistics. But if we talk about and what's the most important thing? It isn't the statistics. It's who has the ball with 2 minutes left in the playoff game, down 4. I take Jalen Hurts over Lamar Jackson.
I think that Rams team's pretty good.
Okay, where do you put the Cowboys in that equation?
Here's my problem with your team, Mark.
It's probably the same problem I have.
I just don't know in the O-line if you've got enough talent that's going to come forward this year and going to be good enough to stop. Now, again, everyone's sitting there trying to tell me that Philadelphia's got a great defensive line. I don't see that. Those 2 edge rushers, I don't know who the fuck they are. We'll see if they're going to pan out. Jordan Davis is underachieved. Okay? He played at 37% of the snaps a year ago. Carter's a beast. Okay? Now, I do have a lot of faith in Jalix Hunt. Okay? But again, how good are you going to be in that opener against that front, that coordinator? That's a pretty tough ask for me to sit there and think that you're going to move the ball against that unit, especially Zach Bond. I think that you're going to have a tough one in there. I'm not saying you're not going to. Okay? Because, again, I don't believe in Keely Ringo. They got 5 different starters on defense, 5 first-time starters. And everyone in Philly is under the assumption that all 5 of those guys are just going to be superstars because of Vic. Well, I don't believe that. They're not going to do that 2 years. If they had brought every person back, they would have had a tough time being the number 1 ranked defense. So with that being said, I think Dallas will move the ball, but I just don't think you have enough. Mm-hmm. Like, I think if they get a lead on you, and they get a lead on you early, I think that's going to be a long afternoon.
Well, Sills, you know what I think it is? I mean, I think there's some talented teams out there. I mean, I think you got to look at the Rams. I think they're improved. I think if the Lions are healthy, I think they're competition. Mm-hmm. I think there are teams out there, but I think to me, what's the most interesting really is if you look at the way the NFL is built and how defenses have been built over the last so many years, they're built to stop the pass, not stop the run. Right. I don't think there are many teams that can stop the run. And it may take a few years to make that adjustment. Teams will adjust to it, but it's going to take some time. And I think the Eagles, the ability to run the ball is what's going to hurt a lot of these teams that are good. Like the Rams. The Rams, they couldn't stop the run. Barkley had 4+ 50-yard runs in 2 games against them. If they can't stop the run, you can't beat the Eagles. And I think that's the advantage.
Couple questions here for you guys. Mark, do you think Mozzie Smith can be saved, and will we see a turnaround year this year?
Well, Dan, that interior defensive tackles actually take a couple of years before they really get into gear. Usually it's year 3 or 4 when they really have started to figure it out, and they really are in their peak between about 4 and 6 and 7 years, and you see him playing well down the stretch. He's been putting in the work. Now, can he end up being where he was drafted? I don't know. I still look at it and say I'm worried about my interior defensive line, again, stopping the strength of the Eagles, which is the running game. If the Cowboys defense is playing with the lead, I think that they're going to play great because they have a lot of guys that are light in the ass, that are really quick, that can rush the passer. But, when you have Solomon Thomas, who's about 290, you've got Osa Ndigazua, who's about like 290. He's very quick. He's not real big. You only have Mozzie and Jay Tola as two guys that are really over 300 pounds, and I think that's going to be
So you think it's more finesse? It's a more finesse defense? Without
a doubt, it's going to be. It's going to be really getting upfield and trying to disrupt things. But, we'll see what they come out with.
This is for you, Philly. What will a successful season with Jordan Davis look like to you? What does he have to do? He played 37% of the snaps a year ago.
Just keep doing what you did in the playoffs, my man. Just keep doing what you did in the playoffs. Because Jordan Davis showed up big time in that NFC Championship game, in that Super Bowl. And I think if he can carry that into the season, I think he'll be fine. I don't think he's ever going to be an 8, 9, 10 sack guy. But if he goes out and gets me 4 sacks on the season, stops the run, is on the field first and second down, maybe even some third downs, that would be bonus. But I think Jordan Davis being that run stopper, improve a little bit in that, in that passing game and be well conditioned, I think he'll be fine.
Wait, do you have a problem with the coach calling him out when asked why he wasn't in shape at the beginning of the season?
No, I don't, because the coach also said that late in the season, he started to get in shape. In December, he was in really good shape. Going into the playoffs, he was in good shape. I think it showed on the field, Sills.
It did. Final 5 games. The reason he didn't get an extension, though, and they picked up the option was because they're telling him, it's a big year for you, kid. I think they like, and I don't think they don't like him, or they wouldn't have given him the 12-9.
I agree.
I don't think they don't like him, but he's not lived. Do you think he's lived up to the 13th pick in the draft?
No. Okay. No, I don't. I think
I'm not saying he's a bust.
No, I don't think he's a bust either. I don't think he's lived up from it, but not because of talent. Like there's certain things where I've seen him do on the field that I'm like, wow, this guy's extremely talented. But I think it took him a while to realize how important it was to be conditioned and be able to play with the snaps. And I think, maybe he's matured late in that regard. But for whatever reason, he looks like he's in tremendous shape now.
Mark, for you, do you believe that you have a 4,000-yard passer and 2 1,000-yard receivers in Dallas this year?
Yes, I do. But if we're talking 4,000 plus, then we're not running the ball as much as I would like. I would rather see Dak's numbers down some and being balanced, where we're using up the whole field. It's going to be hard, though, because having Pickens and having CD, your first instinct is going to be, I want to throw the rock. But we'll see what ends up coming around.
That run game for Dallas is what you got to worry about.
Well, yeah. So we don't know if I can actually look at this and say, if I think back to when the Cowboys signed Darren McFadden averaged 3.3 yards a carry for the last 3 years he was with the Raiders. He got to the Cowboys. For whatever reason, he ran 4.6, had over 1,000 yards, and didn't even start until week 4. Maybe we get lucky and have a situation like that if Miles Sanders makes the roster, or maybe Blue ends up coming out the box and is real good. It's all going to be a matter of how is the offensive line going to play.
I'll make this point to you about Jalen Hurts, what you just said. Jalen Hurts throws for 4,500 yards this year. The Eagles are 9-8.
Mm-hmm.
If Jalen Hurts throws for 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns. Okay, if they do that,
you're great.
That means Barkley went for 1,700 yards again.
Mm-hmm.
AJ did something back there. Hurts went more. I get this. I don't believe your guy's going more than 1,500 yards.
I know.
No back in NFL history's ever done.
I know,
Nope.
I know. That's
So you think
why.
that guy's
That's
gonna
why
put-
it's time. It's time.
So you think
Yeah.
the guy's going to put 800 carries?
I'm thinking he's getting another 2,000 yards.
That never
I'm
happened.
calling
Put
it
down the
now.
crack pipe,
calling
man.
it now.
If he
I'm calling it
does,
now.
if he
2,000
somehow
yards.
does,
Mark this.
that'll be. You
Mark
can just
this.
retire him then because
It's
he won't
first-
have anything left.
It's gonna be the first time in history it ever happened. It's got to happen sometime.
If they give him
It's gonna happen.
33 carries at the beginning of the season, he won't finish the year. He just won't. No back in NFL.
I know. It
He
doesn't
won't
make
finish
sense.
the year.
Doesn't make sense. But I just
It
got
is.
it.
So you're
I just
saying
got
nine?
a weird feeling. I
How
got
How
a
about this?
weird
He
feeling.
had 486 carries a year ago, counting the playoffs.
That's a lot.
Let's just say he goes 420. Okay, you're talking 900 carries in 2 years.
No way.
1,000 carries, almost in 2 years. You think that's not going to take a toll on a guy?
I know it. I know it does.
That's a
I'm not
history
saying-
of knee injuries.
I'm not saying it's not going to take a toll. I think it is, but I'm telling you, I just got this weird feeling. I'm not saying it's logical. I'm not saying it makes sense.
Right.
No,
I just got
nothing's
this
ever
weird
logical
feeling.
from you, Billy.
I just got this weird feeling that he's going for 2,000 yards, and I'm going to bet it, and I'm going to bet it big time.
All right, I got
Okay.
a couple more for you guys here. Sidney Brown, do you agree? If he does not win the starting job, that pick will turn out to be a bust of a pick because you got Makuba, you drafted him. Now, again, it's a funny dynamic, Philly. You know, you got Reed's contract. By the way, I do not believe they're going to give Reed Blankenship a contract before the start of the season. That may be wrong, but I do not believe it. I think they're going to do him the same way they did Zach. A couple weeks before free agency, they may, depending on how he plays. But don't you find it odd? Okay, so you draft a third rounder and a second rounder. You got a UDFA who maybe is going to make $10 to $12 million. That's what the annual number is for a safety. Are you really going to pay Reed Blankenship $12 million? You see that guy as a Derwin James? I surely don't.
Do I see him as Derwin James? No. But I think he's a pretty good safety.
That's what the number is, though. It's
I
Derwin
think-
James type number.
I think he's turned out to be a solid safety. And I actually think getting rid of C.J. Gardner-Johnson actually opens up the ability for you to go out and sign him to an extension if you want to, because you're now putting most likely a rookie on the other side. So I think that I actually think he's going to get a contract extension. I'm not saying
Before the season?
I don't know about before the season. I can't say that, but I think he's going to get one sometime during the season. I do.
Okay, Mark, this is for you.
Here we
Why
go.
is the Philadelphia Eagle fans to you obnoxious? What makes them the most obnoxious fan base to you? And I'm going to ask vice versa on Philly. What makes the Philadelphia Eagles the most obnoxious fan base in American sports?
You know, when you listen to Eagles, you won the Super Bowl. You guys are the bomb.com, okay? You are the big kahunas. But yet, you're still a bunch of needy, whiny little bitches that are looking for everybody else to bow down to you, mother humpers. You know, I can sit here and be on my channel just, talking about Cowboys, and I get all of these damn Eagle fans in here that just blah, 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 blah. And it's like, listen, why don't you go play with some of your own people, okay? This is the Cowboys over here. I'm not living over here on Philly.500's channel, bloviating about stupid shit. I only come on here because it was an Eagle fan that came in and said, Dan Selio is trashing you. And I was like, who the hell is Dan Selio? I've never heard of Dan Selio. And why is he talking about me? And we realized that we're two old guys on front porches yelling at everybody to get the F off our lawn. That's why I'm here. Old people got to stick together.
Hey, all right, so I'll ask you this. Why do you believe the Dallas Cowboys are the most obnoxious fan base?
Do you have about 3 hours?
Sports.
Do we have about 3 hours?
Oh, Lordy.
Well, I mean, look, first of all, when you deal with the Dallas Cowboys, right? Everything Mark said, like, oh, get over it, Eagle fans. You won a championship. Here's a team that's still talking about their 90 championships, right, from the 90s. They still talk about it, but we can't talk about winning just this past year. But we got to hear them talk about their 5 rings that are all dusty and corroded. They haven't won anything in years. They think the NFL revolves around them. They think that they should get credit because they're Dallas Cowboys. And you have no right. Now, Mark sits there and goes, oh, my, I'm just doing Dallas stuff. I ain't doing anything. Every other video, he trashes the Eagles in whatever video he does. And then he wonders why Eagle fans come in and respond. It's
You want the truth?
He just posted.
Do you want the truth, man?
It.
Do you want the truth?
Yeah.
Yes.
The reality is the Cowboys move the needle for everybody. Let's be real. Let's be real.
You see?
Listen, I'm happy because at least people watch, okay? It's a train wreck that everybody wants to watch.
Mark, you do have to admit, it's only been 6 months. I mean, get over it. They won the fucking Super Bowl 6 months ago. We're not talking about 16 years ago.
Well, hang out on your own channels and do your circle jerks together, okay? I don't want to hear it.
When that banner gets raised and they kick that ball
Oh,
Thursday night,
Lordy.
no more discussion about being champions.
Well, since you guys there's no team better than you. So are we expecting you guys to go 17-0, blow through the playoffs, and be Super Bowl champions with your 2,000 back-to-back yard running back? Is that what you basically are telling us?
So you're wanting me to guarantee an undefeated season?
No, are you going back to back? Are you going back to back?
Yeah, I think we're. If we stay healthy, I feel like we got a great chance to go back and win the whole thing.
And Saquon's going to get 2,000 yards.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that it's a logical take, but I
walk it
like
back now. Walk it back.
No, I'm not walking it back. I'm just telling you that's just a gut feeling that I have. I'm not saying that I know for sure, because look, nobody's ever done it. But I got a feeling he's in a window right now for the next 2 years that is going to be very special.
Well,
Let me ask you this, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, do you believe the Cowboys are better than the Commanders?
I think the Commanders are actually headed for a little bit of a fall. Their defense is suspect. You know, they lost a lot. I mean, we got their best pass rusher back in Dante Fowler, and I'm not saying that Dante Fowler is great. But losing Allen on that defense and things, they've got some holes in that defense. And now, the book is out on Daniels. You're going to have the rookie slump, and you don't have the cupcake schedule that you had the year before.
All right, I get it. Here's how we're going to end it. Philly, in the opener, are you going to give Mark Holmes any points? Or is this going to be straight up? Is this going to be straight up? And Mark, how many points do you want?
I want 7 points like Vegas has got.
7 points. Are you giving him 7 points?
No, I'm giving him a beating. We're going to give him a beating. That's it. No points. We don't deal with points. We're dealing with wins and losses.
Oh,
we've got to give that team a beating.
Are you scared? Are you saying it's going to be close? Are you saying you're scared?
What's the score? What's the score? Not to put it in cement right now, but what are you feeling there? What kind of score are you feeling on September 4th?
I think.
Is this a video coming? Is this a video 500?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
What are you feeling right now on a score on the 4th of September?
I think 34-17. I think it's close for the first half, and then Barkley blows it open in the second half, running the ball all over Dallas, and the Eagles run away with it. It's going to be too much. It's just going to be too much.
I can see Mark working it already, writing it down. 34-17, Mark. 34-17. How you feeling about September 4th? How do you feel about it?
Here's the reality of it, okay? The Cowboys, new coach, basically half a new team, shouldn't be – what he said should be true. Eagles, it's your banner raising. It's the Dallas Cowboys, your rival. You should blow us the hell out. It should not be close. It should be a laugher.
You know what I'm doing right now, Mark? I'm trying to give you a pair of balls. Give me a fucking score that's going to put me in the room. 27-24 Dallas.
But nobody knows what the Cowboys are going to do with having 2 wide receivers. And your defense with 5 new starters could get lit up. And with the Cowboys wanting to play the role of the spoiler, you might see it the other way.
Hey, Mark, if you
I'm going to say the reverse of what Philly said. 31-17 Cowboys.
Whoa! Whoa!
What would be better? What would be better than to blow the Super Bowl champions out?
I got the title of the video, 31-17. Dope Cowboys.
Go ahead.
Fan.
Hey. Why not? Okay.
You guys are absolutely sensational, man. And hey, Mark, do me a favor. Don't ever fucking come on this program again and say there's nothing going on, because you know why? We fucking make everything what's going on. I am Mr. What's Going On.
Oh,
all right?
shit.
That's what this is here. Nobody takes days off around this bitch. That's what this is here, homeboy.
He just told us to get the fuck off his lawn.
Hey, listen, I love you guys, man. I can't thank you enough.
All right,
Philly,
appreciate it.
By the way, one thing before you go, Mark. You see that shirt he's wearing? So after that James Gunn guy started telling me that Superman was a fucking immigrant, I'm not looking at it now. Now I'm not going to it.
Well, as soon as I saw the trailer and the dog flying in the air, I said, "I'm out, dude."
Yeah,
I'm not
it's like Super Stevie flying in the air with a cape. I'm not in.
Christopher Reeve's still the best Superman.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely
was.
cool. Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you very much, man.
Peace out.
You guys are awesome.
Bye.
Make sure you check out their fabulous channels, too. Yeah, I saw a dog flying in the air on the Superman thing, and I said, I'm out. Unless my dog's flying with a cape. Holy crap, my dog this morning. My old lady takes off.
All right. With that, we are done. 31-17. I just threw it back at him the same way. We couldn't stop the run. We definitely can't. So I just wrote a check that the Cowboys are going to have to cash. All right, you good people, as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we will see you soon.
Now, if you've been with us